Hello everyone, welcome back to Snipper Coder. In this video, we are going to learn about the clean architecture. This is probably the most important video in this entire course because everything we build depends on the understanding of this concept. Don't worry if it seems abstract at first. By the end of this video, you will see exactly how it's applied to our POS application. Clean architecture was introduced by Robert C. Martin, also known as the Uncle Bob. It is the way of organizing code that makes it maintainable, testable, and flexible. Imagine three concentric circles like an onion. The innermost circle is the domain layer. This contains your business logic and the entities. Things like product categories and the rules for the calculating cart totals. The middle circle is the data layer. This handles the data operations, API calls, database queries, converting JSON to objects. The outermost circle is the presentation layer. This is your UI, widgets, screens, and the state management. Now here the key rule, dependencies always point inward. The presentation layer can depend on domain, but the domain cannot depend on the presentation. The data layer can depend on domain. Domain cannot depend on data. The domain layer depends on nothing external. It is pure Dart code with no Flutter imports, no HTTP package, nothing. Now you might be thinking this sounds complicated, why bother? Let me give you some real scenario. Scenario number 1. Your clients say we want to switch from WooCommerce to Shopify. Without clean architecture, you might need to rewrite half your application. But with the clean architecture, you just need to change few files. That's it. Scenario number 2. You need to write a unit test. Without clean architecture, testing is painful because everything is tangled together. With clean architecture, you can test piece in isolation. Scenario number 3. A new developer join your team. Without clean architecture, they spend weeks understanding the code base. With clean architecture, the structure is clear and predictable. Scenario number 4. You find a bug in your cart calculation. Without clean architecture, the logic might be scattered across 10 files. With clean architecture, it is in one place, that the domain layer. Let's look at each layer in detail. The domain layer is the heart of your application. It includes entities. These are your core business objects. Products, categories, cart items. They are simple Dart classes with no dependencies. Then we have the repository contracts. These are the abstract classes that define what operations are possible. Get products, create order, but they don't say how to do it. Use cases. These are the single action your system can perform. One use case does one thing, get products, create orders. The domain layer know nothing about Flutter, nothing about HTTP, nothing about WooCommerce. It's just pure business logic. The data layer that handle all the external communications. We have the models. These extend your entities and add JSON serialization. Product model know how to convert JSON to a product object. Then we have the data source. These make actual API calls. Our WooCommerce API class make the HTTP request and return models. Then we have the repository implementations. These implement the domain contracts. When the domain says get product, the implementation call the API and return the data. This layer is the only one that know about WooCommerce. If you want to switch to different backend, you only need to change this layer. Presentation layer is what user can see and interact with. We have the providers. These manage the state. Product provider hold the product list and handle loading, filtering, and the errors. Then we have the screen. These are your pages. Our POS application has one main page. Then we have the widgets. These are the reusable UI components. Product grid, cart panel, category tabs. This layer uses the domain layer through use cases. It's never directly call the API. It's go through the proper channels. Let me show you the dependency rule in action with the real example. Here how the data flow when the loading products. Step number 1, the UI calls the product provider .load products. Step number 2, product provider calls the get products use case. Then we have the step number 3, get products, that calls the POS repository .get products. Then we have the step 4, POS repository is actually POS repository implementation file which call the WooCommerce API. Then we have the step number 5, WooCommerce API make the HTTP request and get the JSON. Then the JSON is converted to product model and then to the product entity. Then the product flow back up through each layers. Let's see exactly how this applies to our POS application. In the domain layer, we have product entities, name, price, stock status. Then we have the cart item entity. We have the product plus quantity. Then we have the POS repository contract that will be having a get products and the create order. Then we have the use cases that will be having the get products and the create order. In the data layer, we have the product model, that is the JSON serialization. Then we have the WooCommerce API, the HTTP calls to our WooCommerce. Then we have the POS repository implementation that implement the contract. In the presentation layer, we have the product provider which manages the product state. Then we have the cart provider which manages the cart state. Then we have the POS screen, that is the main UI. Then we have the product grid and the cart panel, which are our widgets. Each piece has one responsibility and they connect through clean interfaces. Let me summarize the benefits you will get from this architecture. First benefit is our testability. You can test each layer separately by mocking the dependencies. Then we have maintainability. When something breaks, you know exactly where to look. Then we have the flexibility. You can swap the database, APIs or the UI framework without rewriting everything. Then we have the flexibility. You can swap the databases, APIs or the UI framework without rewriting everything. Then we have the scalability. You can add a new feature without making the code base more complex. Then we have the onboarding. The new developer understands the structure immediately. This is how the professional team build a software that lasts. Now that you understand a clean architecture, let's start building. In the next video, we will create our Flutter project and set up the folder structure and install our dependencies. We will also create a service locator, which is the glue that connects all our layers together. Make sure you have the Flutter installed and your IDE is ready. I will see you in the next video. If this explanation of the clean architecture clicked for you, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Leave a comment if you have any question. I will read every comment. See you in the next video.